education is being launched at this round table. As its name suggests, education must be purposeful, active, transformative, and holistic. Transformation in education is not merely desirable, it is an imperative. We need a system that goes beyond incremental reform to a genuine paradigm shift. Our education system needs to keep evolving itself. What children need today are meaningful opportunities to succeed and to learn with joy. Achieving this requires the courage to move away from outdated practices and embrace innovation. It is commendable that the City Montessori School has adopted the Accelerating Learning for All, Alpha program for its 21,000 students. This approach helps every child learn better, faster, and with greater joy. As Getty launches the Path movement, let it serve as a call to action for leaders, educators, parents, and communities to come together for this transformative journey. Let us place children at the center of our efforts and give them the future they deserve. The Path movement for transforming education is being launched at this round table. As its name suggests, education must be purposeful, active, transformative, and holistic. Transformation in education is not merely desirable, it is an imperative. We need a system that goes beyond incremental reform to a genuine paradigm shift. Our education system needs to keep evolving itself. What children need today are meaningful opportunities to succeed and to learn with joy. Achieving this requires the courage to move away from outdated practices and embrace innovation. It is commendable that the City Montessori School has adopted the Accelerating Learning for All, Alpha program for its 21,000 students. This approach helps every child learn better, faster, and with greater joy. As Getty launches the Path movement, let it serve as a call to action for leaders, educators, parents, and communities to come together for this transformative journey. Let us place children at the center of our efforts and give them the future they deserve. The Path movement for transforming education is being launched at this round table. As its name suggests, education must be purposeful, active, transformative, and holistic. Transformation in education is not merely desirable, it is an imperative. We need a system that goes beyond incremental reform to a genuine paradigm shift. Our education system needs to keep evolving itself. What children need today are meaningful opportunities to succeed and to learn with joy. Achieving this requires the courage to move away from outdated practices and embrace innovation. It is commendable that the City Montessori School has adopted the Accelerating Learning for All, Alpha program for its 21,000 students. This approach helps every child learn better, faster, and with greater joy. As Getty launches the Path movement, let it serve as a call to action for leaders, educators, parents, and communities to come together for this transformative journey. Let us place children at the center of our efforts and give them the future they deserve. The Path movement for transforming education is being launched at this round table. As its name suggests, education must be purposeful, active, transformative, and holistic. Transformation in education is not merely desirable, it is an imperative. We need a system that goes beyond incremental reform to a genuine paradigm shift. Our education system needs to keep evolving itself. What children need today are meaningful opportunities to succeed and to learn with joy. Achieving this requires the courage to move away from outdated practices and embrace innovation. It is commendable that the City Montessori School has adopted the Accelerating Learning for All, Alpha program for its 21,000 students. This approach helps every child learn better, faster, and with greater joy. As Getty launches the Path movement, let it serve as a call to action for leaders, educators, parents, and communities to come together for this transformative journey. Let us place children at the center of our efforts and give them the future they deserve. The Path movement for transforming education is being launched at this roundtable. As its name suggests, education must be purposeful, active, transformative, and holistic. Transformation in education is not merely desirable, it is an imperative. We need a system that goes beyond incremental reform to a genuine paradigm shift. Our education system needs to keep evolving itself. What children need today are meaningful opportunities to succeed and to learn with joy. Achieving this requires the courage to move away from outdated practices and embrace innovation. It is commendable that the City Montessori School has adopted the Accelerating Learning for All, Alpha program for its 21,000 students. This approach helps every child learn better, faster, and with greater joy. As Getty launches the Path movement, let it serve as a call to action for leaders, educators, parents, and communities to come together for this transformative journey. Let us place children at the center of our efforts and give them the future they deserve. The Path movement for transforming education is being launched at this roundtable. As its name suggests, education must be purposeful, active, transformative, and holistic. Transformation in education is not merely desirable, it is an imperative. We need a system that goes beyond incremental reform to a genuine paradigm shift. Our education system needs to keep evolving itself. What children need today are meaningful opportunities to succeed and to learn with joy. Achieving this requires the courage to move away from outdated practices and embrace innovation. It is commendable that the City Montessori School has adopted the Accelerating Learning for All, Alpha program for its 21,000 students. This approach helps every child learn better, faster, and with greater joy. As Getty launches the Path movement, let it serve as a call to action for leaders, educators, parents, and communities to come together for this transformative journey. Let us place children at the center of our efforts and give them the future they deserve. The Path movement for transforming education is being launched at this roundtable. As its name suggests, education must be purposeful, active, transformative, and holistic. Transformation in education is not merely desirable, it is an imperative. We need a system that goes beyond incremental reform to a genuine paradigm shift. Our education system needs to keep evolving itself. What children need today are meaningful opportunities to succeed and to learn with joy. Achieving this requires the courage to move away from outdated practices and embrace innovation. It is commendable that the City Montessori School has adopted the Accelerating Learning for All, ALPHA program for its 21,000 students. The path for this transformative journey. Let us place children at the center of our efforts and give them the future they deserve. Path, purpose, and imperative. We need a system.
So, very good afternoon, everyone that's present here. It'll be lovely to meet you. If you can share a few lines about yourself, your name, your designation, your organization, and your city, that would be really, really nice. And really happy to have you with us discussing education. I am Sunita Gandhi. I'm the founder of Getty, that is Global Education and Training Institute. So we have launched this movement called PATH, and that is for everyone to journey, or at least think about the journey we are taking in education. And can it be different? Will it be different? And should it be different? So I'm very delighted that with me, I've got my co-presenter here. Let me ask her to introduce herself.
A very warm good afternoon to everybody present here for this amazing session. I am Ms. Priya Chhatrawal, and I'm the principal of Lumina Terra School of Nations. It's yet another amazing adventure, yet another amazing journey that ma'am has started Lumina Terra, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Right. So basically, as we think about education, there is so much to wonder. If we are satisfied, if we feel everything is good, we are happy with what we're doing, which isn't a bad thing. We can all feel good about what we're doing, but then where is the change? And I think we probably have to be more concerned about certain observations in our schools. For example, are all children succeeding? So if in a class you have a normal distribution curve, you've got some kids doing really well, others really struggling, we still have our work cut out, because those struggling children should not be struggling. And those at the top, can they do a lot better? And so these are the perennial questions that we've had in education, and I think time to rethink once more. Can we cast a different net? Can we do something different? Can all our children do well? And can they do a lot more than do well? Can they do far, far better than we ever imagined? Not just in their learning, but also in their acquisition of what we might the new education policy calls it 21st century skills. So these are four that they mentioned, and I think all of us know it, but nevertheless to revise our thoughts on it. So it's collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity. So why did they put it in the NEP 2020 as a desirable goal? Is because perhaps we still have our battle cut out. We still have to do this and to make it a reality for all of us. Perhaps it needs to be a natural outcome of what we do in our education, and not an add-on that, okay, this month we're going to focus on caring, on some other quality, respect, and so forth. So I am absolutely circumspect about the future unless we change and change certain things dramatically. Even the goals to which education is attached need to be thought through once more. It is a very material education we give, with the idea of competition with others intact. And what we perhaps need is an education where children do not compete with others. They don't compete at all. They collaborate. They work with each other. And that's where the word collaboration has featured so heavily in the 21st century skills that the NEP 2020 asks us to deliver on. We also know that in the new education policy, which is a highly progressive policy, it's a policy that all governments should follow literally. In that policy, it also says that teaching should be now change to learning. So emphasis from teaching should change to emphasis on learning. Now that of course requires a lot of mulling over, a lot of thinking, what do we really mean by teaching should convert to learning? Because obviously all classrooms are learning. There's a lot of learning happening in every classroom. But then again, the question, is it a lot of learning or is it learning to some extent? Absolutely. And I think a lot of it could be that it's learning to some extent and not learning as much as possible. So why we are saying all this is because we have been researching for many years now, 20 plus years. I started our research journey in Iceland, of all places, and I got the bid, I won the bid to run Iceland's first 2 charter schools. So that's where the journey all began. Anyway, so let's not go too much into that journey, but lo and behold, we have observed some wonderful things about learning and about integrating naturally the 21st century skills, which we would love to share with you. It's not just a notion, it's not just an idea, it's not just books, it's actually, I think, a paradigm shift, as Manya Shri Rajnath Singh Ji so beautifully has said that he is all for this path movement, which is necessary so that we are not dealing with incremental changes to education, but rather a paradigm shift. So what does that paradigm shift mean? What does it look like? And what is indeed path and what is alpha? So we'll decode all this for you, and we hope you'll be with us in this journey for the next almost 2 hours so that we can have that discussion with you on what we are here to talk about. Thank you so much indeed. So shall we begin, Nishanji? PPT, please. Okay. So can you say what it's all about? Can you tell us, Priya ma'am?
Absolutely, ma'am. So since we're talking about path, beautiful path, and as you always tell us, ma'am, that it's not the destination that matters, rather the journey or the path that we take. You know, a beautiful example that you always take, that if we have to reach Chandigarh, so which path are we taking? Which route? Is it the beautiful scenic view, the scenic path we are taking? Or which path? That is what that truly matters. So that has to be purposeful, it has to be active, it has to be transformative, and of course it has to focus on the holistic growth of a child. That is what the path movement is all about, the holistic development of the child, which is a movement for transforming education. For these main 4 letters, ma'am. I hope I'm right.
No, of course. I mean, that's what it is. So path, Rumi said that as I walk on the path appears. So we know that we have to walk that path for it to appear and for us to understand more and more of what could education look like and feel like today, so that children are prepared better for tomorrow. And surely we don't believe that education will be as we know it today 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I mean, it's not just only because of AI, but that education must be empowering for all children. In particular, they should be endowed with skills that are necessary for them to flourish, not just survive in the 21st century.
Absolutely, ma'am. In fact, the way we studied the curriculum, it's completely different now. The evolution has taken place and it is still evolving. So we also have to keep on moving further. Can we move on to the next slide? So a very warm welcome to everybody for the Path Town Hall, the online session of the Path Town Hall. And of course, for the Path Town Hall, the movement for transforming education that we've all been talking about, City Montessori School in Lucknow, which is the world's largest school, has been the hub where the research has taken place, where it has been all practiced. I would request ma'am to let us know all about it, how it happened, how the journey began.
Okay, so my journey is that of an educational researcher. I am very happy that I have access to the world's largest school as a laboratory to develop these ideas in education and to test them, try them, because a lot of times you go with the hunches. I think a lot of decision is made based on our hunches. Oh, that looks like a good idea. Why don't we do this? And we're very happy with the next selection we make of whether it be a program or a book or an assessment system or some app and so on. And we go in that direction, we take it on. And each year we change books, or maybe we don't change because we're very satisfied with what we have. But is learning better? Can we say that this year our children have done far better than the previous year? Or they've done better? Is it a notion or is it captured on data? Because what Professor John Hattie, my favorite, one of my favorite gurus, is John Hattie, and he has done this huge meta-analysis of research in education. In this research, or the meta-analysis of the research, he has come up with 252 factors that lead to either positive or negative outcome in education. These are not his ideas. He's done the most amazing meta-analysis of 80,000 plus individual researchers from across the English-speaking world. So research has been done by somebody else. He's taken it up and he's done the analysis on all these researchers. Over 20 plus years, he's worked really hard. And then he's come up with these 252 factors. And he has also done the analyses of the data on what is the year-on-year learning gain in schools. So what it would mean is that if you take a child at the beginning of the year and end of the year and measure what's the difference, you'll probably find on the same, let's say, skill-based test, not much improvement. So when I was in Iceland, I did this research where I took a grade 7 mathematics test and English test, and I gave it to grade 8 children next year who were in grade 7, had taken that test a year earlier. So these kids had spent a year more in grade 8. I gave them the same test as was for grade 7 in their grade end annual examination. And the difference was minor, literally. And I said, wow, I mean, this is interesting. Then I came across John Hattie, and he says, not just our little work in Iceland, but that is actually predominantly so.
So didn't they get to know that the paper was safe?
No, because we put grade 8 on it. How do the children know? Even the teachers didn't know, because I was doing my research there as well. And then I came back and replicated a research, similar research in City International School, Lucknow. It's a CBSE K-12. And so here I took up grades 5, 6, and 7, and I gave them a competency test for English and mathematics again. Okay. It said grade 5 for grade 5 children, it said grade 6 for grade 6 children, it said grade 7 for 7 children, but it was the same test given to all three. It was about grade 5 level. And the kids were all over the place. You couldn't say, oh, they were grade 5, they did worse, they were grade 8, they did 7, they did better. So I think we have to be circumspect about our hunches. What we think, will work or does work. We need to really transform our school communities to be hubs of greater learning. And one way to enable that would be to have teachers do their observation and research. And this is one of the things that we at Getty do, Global Education Training Institute. We have been training teachers across our own schools, but beyond that as well. And we have also given them the parameters on which they can write their own research. And this year we floated it to about 700 teachers of City Montessori School, and about 400 voluntarily decided to submit their research. So we had these 13-point criterion, then an independent body of people. They went through the 13 criterion and your research against it. It was in a PPT with their videos, with their evidence, everything attached. The PPTs were long at times, 60, 70 slides and so on, because they had the backup data. They can't just put a chart up saying my children have improved so much. They have to back it up with data. And they also had their portfolio with their material in it. So It was a complete package. And I was quite amazed actually that the teachers decided to do it. It was completely voluntary. And that they did such a tremendous job. And then I was asking them, did it make a difference to your own learning? Of course, that's one of the best way to get them to learn.
Yes,
because they have to collect
absolutely.
data. So they're collecting parent testimonies, they're collecting children's survey in so many different ways. They're doing research on topics that are, they can choose a topic, of course. So for example, on metacognition, which is, difficult to capture, on reflective practice, on a lot of things that, are on teachers' agenda, but they never get to do. So on collaboration, for example, a lot of teachers did that research. So we gave them a little fellowship at the end.
You've always been a researcher, man. You've always been a researcher and innovator. So if you could just let us know about the exponential growth of Alpha in the past 3 years. I guess it's been around 3 years now since City Montessori School has taken it up so actively and enthusiastically, all the galvanizers. So how does it look like now?
So Priya ma'am, we began not with City Montessori School. Firstly, this was research over many years.
Yeah.
That was not always at City Montessori School. It was in
Yes.
Iceland, in UK, in India, in a
Different
number
parts
schools.
of the country.
Right.
And then CMS has now taken it up.
Right, but it also took place in slums of Lucknow and in the government schools of Lucknow.
Yes.
And we brought these children and adult learners to the school. City International School was the laboratory. And we tried out these ideas with them because my question was, can an adult or a child learn to read their own language in 30 days? Right? So, I mean, we're talking about all the letters, all the matras, and not just that, Ref, Paden, Sanyukta Akshar, everything in 30 days and get to read a newspaper. And that too with just 15-minute time investment per day.
That's it.
That's 20 hours literacy. Is it possible or is it an oxymoron? So that's where, the journey has been going on, and the thoughts, the questions, they know their language. They can operate in their language. So how come just few letters and matras are holding them back from reading? And so, yeah, we managed to do it. And that's what led to the breakthrough. When we were coming out of COVID, by that time I had tried out a handful of other ideas. And I approached Anita Karwalji, who was Secretary of Education, Ministry of Education in Delhi at the MOE. And I said, ma'am, getting amazing results. She said, okay, let's do a meeting. And she was very open-minded. She was, of course, mind you, many of you would know as chairperson of the CBSE board prior to her role as Secretary Education. And so that meeting led to the program being first implemented in 2 low-performing districts of India, one being Shamli in Uttar Pradesh and one being Sambalpur in Odisha. There were 10 that she had selected, the lowest performing in the country. And lo and behold, I got going. I said, yes, very exciting, let's do it. And so she had me connected with the DM, Jasjeet Kaur ma'am, and we began there. So I thought to myself that, look, nobody's going to believe that in 30, 40 days that people can read. So why don't I invite some international scrutiny? And that's where I called up people at Harvard Graduate School of Education. I emailed them, I requested that they do a research scrutiny on our program in Shamli. And they did. So that was just a 40-day implementation in the government schools of Shamli, 10 schools in what's called the control or the non-intervention group, and 10 schools, randomly selected all of them, 10 schools as the intervention group, where we did what we're calling Alpha, Accelerating Learning for All. So we trained the teachers, we did a baseline assessment of the 20 schools, and then 40 days later, we did an end-line assessment. And that's where the data was all picked up using a scanning software of OMR sheets. And that data was then analyzed, and the validation of that data came from Harvard. And then Harvard University also, with the Professor Fernando Reimers and his team, wrote a 600-page book. That's the first book you can see. It's called Rebuilding Resilient Education Systems Post-COVID-19 Pandemic. It's available on Amazon. And in that book, chapter 8, which is about 20 pages long, is on our work in Shamli. And also chapter 10 is on Alpha, and that's about our implementation or the potential. It's a modeling exercise, how it would work in Maldives if the country, Maldives, were to take it up at the country level, which they had signed in MOU 4, but then the government is now different, and we are still working with them to bring it back to the level we were at in those negotiations and the MOU. So nevertheless, because the results were so good, Priyaji, that's when City Montessori School said, let's try it out. It wasn't even let's go for it. It's like, let's try it out. And so we started with 1,000 children in the intervention group and something like 1,200 children not in the intervention group at 2 campuses, half the children doing Alpha, if you like, and half not. And that was for kindergarten, grade 1 and grade 2. And we got some amazing results. And that's when it went to the next year with more children in the pilot, the research pilot. So then it moved to 4,500 children in the intervention group and about 6,000 not in the intervention group. And then it went to the third year, which is last year. And last year it was for the first time with books. So the books are kept right here. These are the books. They're called Sky High. And these are the books that CMS took up. Now for the first time, it was not a pilot. It was not a 45-day intervention on the screen only. There were no printed materials 2 years prior, but last year they had the books. And so it exchanged the books that were in the bag of the children from other publishers, and this was accepted. But we don't push, because if you push our management, it could be that it could be not accepted, and it's not a good idea to do that. And we've never typically asked the principals to take up anything unless they want to. And so they did want to. And last year it was 19 of the, no, last year it was 14, I'm so sorry. Last year it was 12 of the 21 campuses that took up the program. So roughly half the campuses, but because they were the bigger ones, we covered about 63% of the children. And this year, this is the second year of the books, the academic session we are currently in. And this year it is 19 of the 21 campuses that have taken it up, and that's something amazing. Like 21,000 children. So that's where we're at today. So, but it has been, a very cautious journey because you want acceptance at all levels. Absolutely. You want the teachers, the principals, of course, there's a starting point are the principals. Management, yes, they sort of gave me the option to give it a try, and then it went well. The principal said we wanted, others said we wanted. And then, of course, they have to not feel bad that, oh, I accepted something, it didn't work out. So they have to feel good about it. Teachers have to feel their space in it, because teachers are at the heart of everything that happens in a school. Absolutely. If they reject something, or they feel it's a burden, or they were not consulted, or it's not good enough for them, then the whole thing, spirals down. Yes. So they have to. But then the biggest stakeholder are the parents. Absolutely. So what do they feel? How do they like it? What do they find appreciative about it? Do they want to continue? And that's where we're at right now. Is the parents are loving it, and so it's going in a big way across the whole city, if you like. But we're now more interested in being able to offer this to others across the country. And that's why we are engaging you all in these town halls. Town halls are a starting point of our discussion. And then we will pursue, we have trainers, we don't have salespeople. We're not giving books away as samples, because we feel we should be conscious of the environment. We'll certainly be happy to give you an e-link. We can do training of your teachers, orientation of teachers. A lot we can do from here, from Lucknow itself, or from where our trainers are. The trainers can come and visit your school as well. So just to be very practical about it, that there are ways to get this to you in ways familiar to you. Pricing is always a big issue, and we're saying, look, we'll meet you at your pricing and your discount level, so that don't worry about that. We just want you to give it a try, we want you to give it a wholehearted try, and we want it to get into schools that are open-minded, that would like to see something different, that's vastly producing a different result for everyone, all the stakeholders and for the children. And that's a very different approach to the program.
The results are definitely amazing, ma'am. And since we are calling Alpha Path a new way forward, so how is it different from the conventional method? How is it a step forward? Okay, so let's unpack it. Firstly, we're talking about pragati, progress. Yes. Progress at all levels in all domains. So if you look at first and foremost, we are looking at a process-led transformation. And that means it's not about books guiding everything, but books becoming a vehicle for that process to be implemented. So it's not a transaction of learning from teacher to the child, as we've always known, and we primarily do, though there are things we do that are different, and modern schools today are doing so many wonderful things. Constructivism is in the class. So for example, when we say that one of the processes we really rely upon is the idea of working in pairs and giving agency to the children to learn by themselves, and that's the focus shift from teaching to learning. So the process is enabling that. And so that's one thing that's really important and built right into the design of the program. The second thing is teacher growth. So we see that it should not be necessarily only, as we normally do, twice a year, thrice a year, 4 times a year, maybe some
training session, that's intensive training, and then the teachers are back to their books, back to their classrooms, and we typically find that it is not delivering as much in terms of classroom practice. So the training is beautiful, lovely, everybody loves it. A month later is back to how it always was. A little change maybe. And so I have this friend of mine in Singapore that's coming to mind, Stella Fernandez, and she's an amazing teacher. She was saying to us when she visited us at our Ed Leadership one of the years from Singapore, and she's an awardee by the president, master trainer, amazing, amazing teacher. She said, for 40 years, I attended trainings because Singapore government gives a lot of trainings. But I said, nah, or I liked it, but I just forgot about it when I got to class. So 40 years later, I heard a training and I really liked it. So I said, I think I could try this out. And that was something interesting because it was maybe not what we are doing, but where she had these children sitting at tables. Five children, six children sitting on tables, and they're working with each other. And so she called it collaborative and thinking classroom. And you can check it out. I'm sure it's on the web somewhere. And she's spoken at Leadership a couple of times. So she did all that. And then she said, yeah, it's working. It's really nice. Nice to see that my kids are learning more. They're feeling their space. They have responsibilities. They're taking up leadership roles, etc., etc. So I wanted to say that it takes a long time for a teacher, say 40 years, before she says, yes, I'll try this out, and I think I can understand what it is. So we want teachers to intuitively understand what it is without long training sessions. We say 3 hours online training is enough to learn about teaching Hindi, another 3 hours for learning about English, another 3 hours for learning about mathematics. And that's a starting point. You get excited, you say, wow, this is good, this is working, and I'd like to try this idea out in my class. They try one small idea in their class, and they are getting more and more hooked into it. And then, so this transformation is what you need in a training program. Just generating of that thought, that idea that, yep, I think this might work. What happened with Stella 40 years later. So that's different, Priyaji, right? So teacher growth. Now teacher growth also, with that spark, of course, and in addition to that, we need to sustain that spark. So the books that we have built, and they're called buddy books, what we are going out to the market with. And in these buddy books, we have done something really different, which is that they're designed for the children.
Okay.
They're not designed for the teacher. And how they're designed for the children is that inside you will have these visual modules. And they'll actually tell a little child also, what is my task?
Okay.
But we don't rely on that only. What we have is at the bottom of every half page or one page module, so that means practically every page has what's called teacher prompts. And there are 2 kinds of teacher prompts. One is for in-class activity. Now that's really important because the teacher should know what's my task and what do I do. So they don't need to make planners anymore. They just need to study what's at the bottom of the page. And they study that together as well. So that's another part of it. I'll come to it in a minute. But they are supposed to read that, understand it, and they are written for paired work. This is where the transition comes. Why they become buddy work is because the prompts are given so that teachers can show how buddies can work together.
Okay.
Right?
So no lesson planning and all those things needed. It's all given in the book. It's like a guide.
I would not say it's all given in the books, but sufficient amount is given in the books.
Okay.
So that, teachers have a trigger, a thought, a creative, aspect that they can do that day. But we're not saying don't be limited by it. Because what we've found, what is really fascinating, is that the teachers are becoming great innovators themselves. They become super creative. They didn't know that they had so much creativity in them. And that's what they tell us, that ma'am, we're so creative now. And they feel their space, they feel good. That's really part of the feedback mechanism they need. They get appreciated by the parents, that the teacher in this class is doing such a good job and so grateful to the teacher. They're so grateful to the school. And this is all a feedback mechanism to motivate the teacher to go on that path, that new path that they're on. So every day, they're getting trained by implementing that change.
Okay.
And through that, becoming empowered in many, many more ways than we would in the past. In addition, the second set of prompts are what's called home stretch activities. And so the teacher can remind children, okay, children, you're going to stretch what you've done in class at home.
Okay.
And so you don't need tutors, you don't need people who are helping their children, parents, grandparents helping children. You don't want that at all.
So then what about the parents? Like, what is the role of the parents in this then?
The parents' roles have changed a lot.
Okay.
Okay, that's a good question. The first and foremost thing is how the parents getting empowered, right? What's happening now in the home compared to what used to be happening in the home? So in the home, the child would go home, the teacher will have written, or if it's an older child would have written in the diary, I did this in class today. Then a second column that will say, I will be doing this at home today.
Okay.
Right? So it's a lot of work for the teacher of young children to write so many times what they did in class today. And they might print it out, hopefully they do, and system generated maybe. But still, it's a lot of work for the teacher to communicate that. And we invariably get bite-sized information to the home. Now, that's never satisfying to a parent. So here they can see in the book itself, there's guidelines for the in-class activities, guidelines for at-home activities, and they're called home stretch. Stretching what they've done in class. So kids are going and going and going. I will share with you one or two videos. They're non-stop because they've learned how to learn and they've learned how to learn with each other. So we'll revisit this question of yours.
Absolutely.
But for the moment, how the parents getting empowered is by that information that's right there in the pages of the books, what the child did in class and what the child is going to do at home. And what's changed is, of course, the parents have become subservient to the child. The child has become the teacher. He says, no, not like this, Mama. We have to take turns. We have to do it in this way. So all the parents are getting to know alpha and how to do it, how to become what we call galvanizers rather than teachers. And so how to become a good parent galvanizer. So the parent guidelines are important. They feel now supported. They feel, oh, the school is telling us what's going on. So I think that's a good feeling.
And how are the students assessed, ma'am, then?
Okay, so assessment is ongoing. We say that assessment should not be called assessment per se.
Okay.
It's a survey of or feedback on what the learning is and where the learning may be additionally needed. And I don't want to call it gaps, but an understanding of where my class is at, so that feedback provides the opportunity to reflect on what's going on and to perfect that, right?
Okay.
So we don't call it corrective action because that's for jailers. No corrective action. We're talking about reflection. And reflection is not just for the teacher or just for the child, it's for both of them and even for the management. So these are reports that are automatically generated through our mobile apps, and teachers feel very supported. And also we guide the teachers how to make their own assessments, but also we provide them assessments and they become like model for them.
Okay.
So we provide lots and lots of assessments, and they are all according to modules and tiers. So the teachers have an access to those, and they're very differently designed assessments that lead to diagnostic feedback for every child without a lot of work.
Okay.
Key thing, not adding to the workload.
Okay. So with that, we also have the EdTech tools also coming into the picture when we are talking about the 360-degree progress, unpacking the path. That's where we have all these factors coming into the picture.
Yeah, the EdTech tools are there,
Yes.
and there's the High Path app, so we can look at that as well. But anyway, it's not about these bits and pieces, because I think that a lot of schools have a lot of bits and pieces. We are talking about the journey. We're talking about the path. We're talking about how do we accelerate learning for all the children. So it is a different path, it's a different cut, a different way to think, where you are not, the teacher is not the master puppeteers calling all the shots. Even when they say, okay, everybody now face each other, we're going to do think, pair, share. Of course, paired work there as well, but it's different. And I think the devil is in the detail. And we need to look at the detail, not just the superficial understanding of what we are talking about today.
Giving the complete ownership to the child.
Giving complete ownership to the child and empowering them so that they learn by themselves rather than we teach them everything. And that's what NEP is talking about, I think. But we are not able to figure it out so quickly, so readily. But luckily, all this research we have done all the years has concluded in a similar way.
So when we're talking about path in action, How does that look like? And we were talking about the paired learning, the collaboration taking place inside the classrooms. So could you just throw a little bit of light on that as well, ma'am?
So how do we get the children to learn by themselves and with each other so that they become independent learners and collaborative learners? That's the journey. And you can see it in this video where you can see the beans are, I think, ones. Yeah, beans are ones. Ice cream sticks are tens. Bundle of ice cream sticks are hundreds. And the spoons are 1,000. And so a child has made a number and he's going to ask his partner what number it is, and then write it down, and then the other child will make a number, and this child will tell what the number is. Okay. Then they'll be adding them, then they'll be multiplying them, they'll be subtracting them, they'll be dividing them. All of that they do with each other, and teacher only empowers them, shows them the path, and that path is written down in the prompts at the bottom of the page of a particular module, that the visual would look something like what's on the screen. So that's your module. And it's so intuitive for a child to say, aha, I think that's a number. Aha, that's what I need to do. So, but maybe what I should do is do a little bit of clap and snap activity with you, or with all of us. Okay. Yes. So all of you can do this. Please join us as we do a very, very simple activity. So
if you could just let them know, ma'am, like what's the clap for and what's the snap for?
Why don't you tell?
Okay. So when we are talking about numbers, the numeracy skills. So clap will be for the tens and the snap is for ones. So we have it here on the screen. So we have snap for ones, clap for tens, a shoulder tap for hundreds, and a clap above, that is for thousands. So
first we do kinesthetic, which is movement based. There are many movements we also do, but one of them is this one, clap and snap activity. So it's kinesthetic. Then after the kinesthetic comes concrete. As you can see, those materials like matchsticks with the tops cut off is what we give them. And then ice cream sticks, bundles, and spoons. So you can see the number there. There are 5 ones, 5 snaps, 5 ones, 3 claps, that's 3 tens. Shoulder tap, 1 only. So that's like a bundle of tens sticks. So that's a 100. And a clap up is 1,000. I don't see how many there are. It's a 2. There are 2 thousands there. So there are 2 clap ups. So you can do this for yourselves as well. Let's do this together.
Absolutely. Right.
Okay. So you be the teacher, I'll be the student. All Make a number, and and all of you please watch first what she's doing, and then you can replicate for yourself. Right.
Okay.
I think it's 31.
Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, I've got one more.
40. With
Great
the 0
job.
ones. Okay.
Yes, great
0
job.
ones. Right. So you can see that she has done her part. Now, she was the teacher, I was the student. Now it isn't over, right?
We reverse the roles.
We play equal roles. And it's not like one child teaching, the other sort of answering. It's also the other child asking and the first one answering. Absolutely. And this is regardless of ability. We do not do ability groupings. We don't do conscious pairing of children. We do random pairing every single day. So I will make a number for you now.
Yes.
Because the demo, this is called a teacher-child demo. The demo is never complete till the child has asked the teacher a question and given teacher a high five if they get it right, and giving teacher a try again if the teacher gets it wrong. And teacher sometimes deliberately gets it wrong, which is also nice. You can say, no, ma'am, it is such and such, try again. So they make the number once more, and the teacher tries again. So they learn by this process how they're going to work in pairs. So that's the process-led transformation. So I will then, let's say, make a number for you.
Okay.
At this time, I'm going to make 100 tens and ones number, okay?
Okay.
So pay attention because this shoulder tap is 100, right? So see how many times I do shoulder taps.
321.
Good job, well done. Okay, so the other thing that you notice is that we are saying to each other, good job, well done, giving a high five. Let's get your views. What do you think are the benefits of giving each other a high five. The whole class will be working and doing this. They'll be making numbers from 1 to 99 because that's, when they're learning up to 100 and then, or 99 we say. And then of course, from 100 to 999, they'll be doing this with just these three kinesthetic activities, a snap, a clap, and a shoulder tap. That's all, 999. When they do a clap up, it's 1,000, they can make to 9,999 by then. So they know till 10,000. And grade 1 children can do it. It's not a big deal for them. They've just been empowered. That's the key thing. We have empowered them to do something with each other that they can continue and stretch into home.
Absolutely.
This is the key thing. Now they've all become teachers. They go home and they do this with dada, dadi, nani, nana, nani, their uncles, aunts, brothers, sisters, their mother, father, and they're having such a good time. And they are the ones who see, you see in these videos that come from home, and I get hundreds of them in a day. They come and they are, they're teaching their parent, no, mom, it's your turn.
Yes.
Because mom wants to keep asking questions from the child, like she's teaching still. Say, no, mama, we have to take turns. I have asked you, now you have to ask me, now I have to ask you. So that way it is really awesome to see how children are taking a leadership role in their own learning and practice. And they naturally practice. When they do like this, they're practicing. Okay. So can somebody say what is the benefit of giving a high five to each other?
Can we have the next slide till then?
Okay, we'll go to literacy in a minute. But what does this high five business do? Do please send your comments, type them in. Okay, let me ask in another way. How many of you think that giving high five and that instant feedback, try again, how many of you agree that this motivates children a lot more than the traditional system which teacher can hardly say well done, frequently as they need to hear? And from each other is very powerful, very genuine. So how many of you agree that this is a very good way to motivate the children?
I do. I felt motivated when I got that high five.
Yeah, there you go. And every time we do it, we're never tired of it, are we?
Yes, very true, ma'am, very true.
So we have Giselle who's saying, I do agree. How many of you will agree that this is a very good way to give feedback to each other? I'm noticing something on the table, and I've said 32, and let's say my student has put 32 in matchsticks and ice cream sticks. So there are 3 ice cream sticks right here and 2 ones. So that's a 32, right? So I've shown it. Now supposing I get it wrong, I put 33. So that my partner can say, but I made the number 32.
You made it 33, but the initial number was 32.
Yes, so you can be my control of error. You can be my person who can tell me that I got something wrong. You're doing my checking, I'm checking yours.
Yes.
We're checking each other's work. So it goes from the kinesthetic, the clap and snap, to concrete, and then it goes to abstract, where the children actually will write down 32 or 321.
Yes.
So it's really awesome to see the kids do this beautifully. Okay, now I think we can go to the next slide, Nishanji. Okay, so that was numeracy. No, but before we do that, can we play that video, the very first one on numeracy? Just a few slides earlier. Yeah, this one, please.
How many hundreds are there? There are 300. How many tens are there? There are 20 numbers. No, there are 2 tens. How many thousands are there? There are 2,000. How many ones are there? There are only ones. Now read the number. 3,321.
In this whole process, and that language, that articulation is also very powerful, Because when we say in the NEP 2020 that children must have communication skills, even the shy child sitting next to another child in a 1:1 setting will become more inclined to speak and to share. And we've seen this, especially with special needs children. So we have a child of age 8 sitting in a government school, and it is awesome to see how the whole class claps for him when he's able to make a 51. We can barely, he's a Down syndrome, barely move his hands to make the 50 and the 1. And it was just unbelievable to see that. So these are precious moments, very good learning for the whole class. The things that we don't normally get to focus on is building empathy, deeper connections, valuing those connections, and not just worrying about academics as we have had to, because the systems are very slow in delivering results. But now we have a system that delivers results very quickly. We are talking about covering a whole year's content in half a year or less. So then that rush through the syllabus and that madness that we've been a part of is shed to a great extent.
Yes, very true, ma'am, very true.
All right, so let's see the next activity, and that is for literacy. And I want you all to be involved, please, because that's the only way to help you understand how it feels for the child. So can you just write on a notebook 3 vowels as written here, A, E, and I, and 5 consonants as written here, H, N, R, S, and T. Right, write down in a notebook. And since you're mostly alone, if you were in a pair, you'd be doing this together. But you can use any letter more than once, but make as many words as you can, 2-letter, 3-letter, 4-letter, 5-letter, 6-letter, 7-letter, 8-letter, any number of letter words with these 8 letters of the alphabet.
And just in 2 minutes.
And just in 2 minutes. See, in 2 minutes, how many you can make. And you have to avoid names of people. Okay, so now you can write down, I think 2 minutes are up, Priya?
A few more seconds maybe.
A few more seconds, okay?
But you can definitely keep on typing the words in the chat box as well.
Yeah, please feel free to type up your words you're making in the chat box. Or you can write just the biggest words you're making. So what can we think of in the meantime? Like what words
Smallest
can you and I
word.
make?
I got in, it.
Okay. So I can think of rise, R-I-S-E.
Yes.
Rise.
Stern.
Stern, that's a good one, yeah. So S-T-R-I. Yeah. N-E-S-T, nest.
Nest. Test.
Rest. So sometimes we luck out.
Yes.
See, these people are already making some names, very nice ones. Thirst, very good. Heist. Raise, wow. Look at this. Simran has made 1,000,000 words here. Wow. So let's move on to the next slide, and thank you very much, those who are participating. Okay, so how do we make this into an endless activity? How do we empower children so they can learn by themselves and with each other and continue that activity with joy, with happiness, and do umpteen of practice using the same exact process? So we say, okay, we have the children write all the letters of the alphabet, make one pile. So I'll write maybe 13 letters and you'll write 13. And we'll put all the vowels in a pile 1 and all the consonants in a pile 2, right?
Okay.
So we'll put them here Then let's say Priya will pick out 3 vowels, I'll pick out 5 consonants, and we'll turn them upside. So they were upside down earlier, face down, now they're face up.
Okay.
So face up, we can see all the letters, and each time we do this, it'll be a different set of letters, obviously.
Absolutely.
So we can do this again and again and again and again. So here we have them, and then we'll start making words with that set.
That's
and then we'll compare our
interesting.
notes.
Yes.
Then we'll walk over to another pair. Yes, and show them what we made. They show what they made, and the learning goes up, right? So we can even have dictionary to look up some words if you don't know some of them. And we continue that at home, and next day we come back and share whatever we wrote in our notebooks. We come back and share with our partner for the other day, for the
This
next day.
activity can literally go on and on. It's a continuous
It's
process.
endless. So instead of taking 3, you could take 4 letters now, of 4 vowels, 5 vowels, all of them, and 3 consonants. You can do a total of 8, or you can do a total of 12, you can do a total of 15, doesn't matter. These kids can go on and on and on. Once they've been empowered with one particular variation of it, they can create a whole bunch of variations of their own. So these are the prompts that are in the book. That is like in class, children sitting in pairs, what they would do. So the teacher gets to know exactly what the children are supposed to do. And the home stretch, the parents also get to see both. They can see what the children did in class and what they're going to do at home. Next, please. Okay, so as it happens, these 8 letters that we had picked can make 159 words. Which
Just 8 letters.
So the kids can come up with a handful, and that's good enough. But to say that it's an endless, in of itself, a list of words. And so what are the follow-on activities they can do? What do you say, Priya? What else can they do with this activity? Take it to the deeper level.
Maybe they can find the meaning of those words, find
Absolutely.
synonyms, frame sentences.
Absolutely.
Maybe write a story using those words, incorporating them.
Absolutely. So those are all given in the prompts, and the teachers themselves can come up with what next.
Oh, one more is that I must draw pictures as well.
They can draw pictures as well.
Yes.
Exactly. So what words we write, we are more excited to write sentences on it. We are more excited to look them up in a dictionary, find meanings, synonyms, as you said.
Yes.
We're more excited to make a story out of them collectively with us. You make one story, I make one. Or we together come up with a story. I add a sentence, you add a sentence,
Yes.
and we make a beautiful story. Then we take the story to the next set of pairs, and share with them the story, and they share theirs. And so creating those spaces in the classroom is what's driving the change, what's exciting the children, and the teachers are getting a lot of time that they never had before to observe, to watch. So they're becoming more and more scientists and researchers because they're reflecting more on what's going on in the class and writing in what we call the reflection registers, all these notes. And it's a new journey that started for them. They are feeding their space more. In the past, the teacher was active, and the children were passive recipients to a great extent, not always. Some classes are very energizing, very interesting, more child-centric. We have teachers who are making a lot of spaces for children to express themselves. But what if it was part of a system? And also endorse that 100% of the way. That means the children are working not just 10% of the time in pairs, as in think, pair, share, not just 20% of the time, but 100% of the time. They're working in pairs all day long. And how does it look like? How does it feel like? How is it better? And what ways is empowering the teacher? And what ways is empowering the parents and the children? We have to look at all of that. Okay, next. So one of the questions then is that do you think you can write 1, 2, or 3 in chat? These activities can engage children for hours.
I would say yes, definitely.
And do they require a lot of teacher intervention? And they are not exciting at all. Is it 1, is it 2, is it 3?
They engage the children for hours. They can definitely engage the children for hours. Teacher intervention not required at all, because all she had to do was give them the letters, the cards that were there. That's it. And of course, it is pretty exciting for anyone and everyone. So I would choose option 1.
Okay, good. And the second one is, do these activities move focus from teaching to learning? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
How many say yes? Okay, right. So next slide, please. Okay, so now over to literacy in a bigger way. So how does it work? We discovered that we have to shift from an unknown to unknown to a known to unknown process. So Priya ma'am, do you want to talk about that a bit?
Absolutely, ma'am. So when we are talking about the conventional method, it's always A for apple, B for ball, C for cat, and then coming to the sounds. So it's unknown to unknown. The child is unaware of the letter as well as the word. But when we are talking about the alpha way, the alpha pathway, the pictures that we all can see on the screen, there's a car, there's an apple, there's a tub. So the child is familiar with all the three pictures, with all the three images. Now from those known images, from those known pictures, we derive the sound. So if we have the car, so, okay, yes, one more thing. So since ma'am has already mentioned that the learning happens in pairs, so we have these two interesting characters over here, Tina and Toto. So all the conversation that happens, it happens between Tina and Toto. So these are the two characters that we have in Alpha. And the paired learning as we've all been talking about. So there you go, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes. So Tina is going to ask Toto first of all, how are you, Toto?
I'm fine. How are you? I'm feeling amazing. How are you?
I'm feeling amazing too, Toto. So Toto, what is the first picture?
The first picture is that of a car.
Okay, and what is the sound of this? What is the first sound of the car?
First sound that I hear in car is ka.
And what about the next image?
That is an apple.
And what is the first sound of an apple?
Apple,
And the third image, what do you see? What is the third picture?
I see tub.
A tub. And what is the first sound of the tub?
Ta. Tub, ta.
Ta. So if we take the sounds, the first sound of all the three images, of all the three pictures, what do we get? Ka, at. What do we get?
Ka, at. Cat.
Well done, Toto.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Right. So we've done the demonstration with this word, cat. So there are three major differences here, as Priya ma'am alluded to. First, the pictures are known. But if the picture is not known, sometimes that's also the case. We are working in different countries as well. Pictures not known, and they want to learn English. English is a second language. Say, okay, fine, no worries. Because pictures we remember faster.
Yes.
So
visuals.
Yes, we remember. So we go through a garden and say, gende ka phool hai, this is, a rose or whatever. We tend to remember that more because it's a visual. And so it doesn't take very long for a child to know that's a tub or that's a car. They may have more familiarity with a car, so on. So first thing is, of course, we do picture games for those children. And there are memory games, there are, you have picture sounds, then we have got pictures in a row and sounds in a row. And the letters are not called letters, they're called picture sounds. They're called the first sounds of the picture, so they're sound symbols. And so the child is not reading that as a C or a B, that child is reading it as a sound like B, right? So here, firstly, you've got the picture sounds. So picture to sound rather than letter to sound. So when you say B says B, a lot of difficulty children have because B does not say B, B says the B that buzzes around.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so B doesn't say B. So we are saying, no, but B says B, you better memorize it. So that initial part takes a long time, but then once they've got the hang of it, yes, phonics goes a lot better. But what if we were to do picture sounds, pictures from the environment or what they can quickly understand and remember very easily? And so they are deriving on their own. The key always is, can they do it on their own after they've done the picture games? Can they do this activity that's on the screen? Can they do that on their own, number one? Number two, can they do it with each other? And number three, are they empowered enough to go do it on their own at home? Right? So here pictures, sounds are cognitive. We are not saying that B says, we're not saying B says ba because B is not known initially and ba is not known, that B says ba is not known. Now, here what the child is looking at something known, say a bus, And we're not saying the bus says ba. No, we are saying, what is the first sound in bus? Ba. Absolutely. So when you can hear that sound, okay, you know that the child can derive it on their own because they hear that word bus, which they know, and they can derive the first sound. And you've taught them what do you mean by first sound. So even if it takes longer, like 1 period, 2 periods, to understand what you mean by first sounds, they need to understand. Then what we did was to put the pictures together. So 3 pictures together make a word. So why not put them together? So with the minimum number of words, can we teach them the ability to read full text, right? Without worrying about teaching, it's more about learning. And then the cognitive part also is that the child is not being told that BAG becomes bag. It's ba-a-g becomes bag. And that's a cognitive process again, is adding sounds. Deriving sounds, adding sounds, all cognitive. So everything on this page is cognitive, in this module is cognitive, except for the letter, which we are not calling letters anyway.
Yes.
That's the unknown part, but we are calling it sound.
Sound.
Now, what's fascinating is the children remember those abstract sound symbols easier than they remember abstract letters, which they have to connect backwards to some picture or something else. Okay, that's a lot more processing than necessary, and it really hasn't worked out. So the second child, now I've taken my turn to ask questions for the first word. Now it'll be her turn to ask questions for the second one, or vice versa. So you've understood that it is a two-way, complete demonstration to a child, how to work in a pair, how to say high five, well done, good job, try again. Next. So let's see how these kids are taking turns to learn at home. In the class, this is probably kindergarten children, age 5. Possibly they could be 4-year-olds also. I'll have to check. But anyway, please, can you play the video?
This is the fish. What is the first sound of it? First sound of the fish. What is this? This is the orange. What is the first sound of orange? First sound of orange. Oh. What is this on the X6? This is a whale. What's on the whale? Well, what is this? This is an insect. What's on the insect? Eat. What is this? This is a goat. What's on the goat? Goat. What? Eat. Goat. This is bag. What's the word for the bag? Boat. What is this? Orange. What's the word for orange? Oh. What is this? This is X. The first one X. Box. This is a zebra. Why the first sound of zebra? First sound of zebra is. What is this? This is an insect. What is the first sound of insect? First sound of insect is E. What is this? This is a parrot. What is the first sound of parrot? First sound of parrot is B. E. B. Is it?
Right. So we want you to give your observation of what you just saw. The whole class of little ones, say 5-year-olds, working with each other and on their own, creating and co-creating learning. I find it fascinating. I hope you do too.
Absolutely.
We never thought it was possible that kids can learn on their own. We thought teacher has to teach everything. But look at the amount of language and communication that's floating. And that taking turns is teaching humanity, teaching them how to be, collaborative and how to give turns to each other, not just hog the limelight and be the one who is teaching. So to some extent, constructivism has it, but often it is interpreted in a lot of body of research is about teachers, children who are teachers teaching a child who is the receiver or the learner. So that's the model. What we have said is no, they should be treated as equals, even if they're unequal in their level of learning at that present time, even if one child is a special needs child, that they should still take turns, and the turn taking should be random. And every single day children come, there's random learning. If you want, I can show you a video related to that as well. How they do random pairing is absolutely fascinating. Teachers are doing in a million ways that we never thought that there would be such amount of creativity from the teachers. But the principle remains that children must change pairs every day and work with each other. Of course, as they get into middle grades, we have a different take. It's called Alpha B, and that's a slightly different process, which we can explain at some other point. But for the younger ones, we change pairs daily.
Now, I believe we have some prompts that are also displayed on the screen, ma'am. So a module is there on the screen. And as ma'am mentioned earlier as well, that for every activity, the prompts are there at the bottom of the page. So giving ownership to the child, the teacher can definitely explain what has to be done, but ultimately it's the kids who are taking it up. So the first prompt that says clearly that the kids, they're going to pair up. Of course, every activity happens in pairs. They're going to take turns to make sentences using one word from each of the columns A, B, and C. So column A has a few nouns, B has the verbs, C again has a list of nouns. So taking one word from each column and then they have to make. So you can use any words from each of the columns. So the first sentence that has been made is, my dad makes dinner. The next one says, my mom drives the car. So the examples are also given for a better understanding of the children. And the second prompt that says is, make up your own list of nouns and verbs in the 3 columns as above and make new sentences of your own. So now there are some words that are already given. The next activity, they'll create their own list and then make sentences from that particular list. And then of course we have the third prompt that says, now make up a prose. Like, again you have an example that's given, an illustration, it's there. I live with my mother, father, sister, and Tommy, our pet dog. We like to ride in a car. When we go to the beach, Tommy likes to run after the ball. So now using those words, a paragraph has been framed. So this is how the prompts are given at the end of each module. So the teacher is all free, she's relaxed. Whatever is being done by the child.
What's also fascinating is that, say, prompt 2 is saying that children can add to the list. So it's endless fun and creativity.
Yes.
Because they can look up words and or come up with words in list A, more nouns, and then list C, more nouns, and they can put a whole bunch of verbs in the middle. So this activity can continue endlessly. That's what we want. We want deeper engagement, we want more learning, we want self-creation, we want children to be able to expand on their learning by themselves and with the help of each other, not just the pair, but they can go and talk to another pair. Yes. And so extend the learning. And as we agreed earlier, that they can treat this in a variety of ways, and so the learning deepens in other ways as well. For example, make up a story, and in fact, as you see at the bottom of prompt 3, they're making fill-in-the-blank sentences.
Yes.
So they'll have a starting point of a sentence, they'll have a dash and a blank, so then my pair can fill. And this is a lovely home stretch activity. They go home and they make all these sentences with blanks in them, bring them back the next day. Some they've done, some they ask their partner to do in front of them. So they make questions for each other, and that's where they learn their critical thinking. Because how else will they learn critical thinking? If a teacher is making all the questions, there's very little critical thinking that's going on. There's some, but not a lot.
And when the kids, they are making the questions, they go through the particular concept on even a deeper level.
That's what we found. So I got a call once from Smita Dikshit. She is coordinator for grade 2 in Gomti Nagar Campus 2. And she said to me, "Ma'am, I'm teaching mathematics." She's coordinator cum maths teacher for grade 2, and in a particular section. And she said, "Ma'am, I was, teaching is the word we normally use, but I was working with the children on even and odd numbers, and they're making numbers in thousands, and these are grade 2 children. So 2020, is it even or odd? And they're actually color coding. So the blue is, let's say, even, and the orange is odd, and they've filled sheets of work. So when we worry about this written work, we are finding that typical children, typical classroom is doing 3 to 5 times written work than they ever did in the past. And that's joyful writing. So they're making questions for each other is another pretext to get them to write. And when they're making all these fill in the blanks, and they're doing their coloring of and making lots and lots of even and odd numbers, and it's just enormous practice as well.
That's amazing. That's truly amazing seeing the kids being empowered. That's what we want, the student empowerment that we've been talking about. And then, of course, it becomes all fun and all joyful.
And you can see a lot of writing evidence right here. The children are writing beautifully. It's also, we give them more support so they can actually be empowered to write. We give them the frames and how to write for themselves and with each other. So, for example, there's a poem in one of the grades. It's "What if O ran away?" And
O as in the letter O?
As in the letter O.
Oh.
What if O ran away? And this is, I think, maybe grade 1, grade 2.
Okay.
And so they're not learning the sounds now. They know now the letters as well. And so it's a poem like, okay, what if O ran away? There'd be no mom, and there'll be no pop. Oh no, and so on and so on. So, and then the children have to write one that is, what if A ran away, for example, or what if E ran away? And so they're creatively engaged with writing lots and lots of words that would have an E, and therefore if that ran away,
What would
then
happen
what would
to
happen?
the word?
So it's really awesome. But that kind of empowering them through a demonstration, through a model, and how they can create their own, creating enough interesting topics that they enjoy working with. Those are the key things. And we are on a journey. We've got a whole bunch here, but we will continue to fine tune and keep giving them more interesting things to do as we learn more from the system.
Absolutely.
It's like your version. Let's say my mobile phone here. It's a version 2.2, 2.3, 2.4. Every year it changes, and the same smart people made this mobile. So why didn't they get it right in the first place?
Because they keep on reflecting.
No,
they
because
observe and they keep on reflecting.
Right.
And then the amendments are made accordingly.
Absolutely, and because they learn from the system. When you implement change, you learn from it. And they can see, okay, well, this part of it or that part could be even better. Because from the feedback, they're able to improve it. So I think that's how Alpha is a living, breathing path to new learning. It's not the end.
Very true, ma'am.
And it's collective, it's together with the teachers, together with all of you.
Now, fast and effective numeracy.
Okay, I think I do not want to go too much into it because we've done numeracy already earlier.
Yes.
And but just suffice it to say, you can see some pictures here, plus, minus, subtraction with tools that's going on. These are girls in a government school in Himachal Pradesh. Similarly, they're working on it. Multiplication, division, everything has become so much easier. Here is a video of these two children in a grade 2 classroom at City Montessori School. And these kids have given each other a sum. And if I remember correctly, or if you can see, maybe we should watch this video to understand how numeracy happens. So you can see what number it is they've made for each other and how they're solving it. It's a large number. Grade 2 children are not expected to know all this. Grade 2 children should know numbers till 99 and know them well, but not numbers in thousands, for sure.
They've got all these ice cream sticks, and I'm sure they're going to make a big number, huge number, I believe.
Yeah, shall we see it here?
Multiplied by
Multiplying by
3. Okay. So Shinoy, can you explain your number placement?
first I have put 385.
Okay. And how many times have you placed the same number?
I have placed the times the 3 times.
Why?
Because here is written 3.
Okay. So you are multiplying it 3 times. Okay. Now, what is the next step? Do it. Show.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay.
These I will give to back, and bank will give me 1. I
Okay.
will stick here.
Right. You will put it as carry. Okay. Then how many ones are left then?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
5
So
ones.
can you write the answer in the ones column?
Yes.
Okay. So we have got we have got 5 ones in the ones column. Okay. Now what about tens?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Okay. Now what will you do?
I will give these to the bank,
And the bank will give you.
and bank will give me one bundle of
Ice cream sticks.
sticks
And you will put it in which column?
in 100 columns.
Okay. Now, what about the leftover tens? Let's add them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So, we are going to.
Give these to bank.
Okay. So now you can use the word exchange. We can exchange it from the bank. Okay. Now, what will the bank give you?
Bank will give me again one bundle of ice cream sticks.
That is hundreds. Okay. Now, how many tens are we left with?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. So, can you write the tens in the answer? Okay. So, we have got 5 ones and 5 tens. Now, let's count the hundreds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And
9 and
10.
So, since we've reached 10, what we are going to do?
We will exchange this to the bank,
And the bank will give us.
and the bank will give us 1 spoon.
1 spoon is which counter?
1,000.
Right, okay. Now, how many hundreds are we left with?
100 is left 1.
Okay, so write your answer there.
1,
10. Now, how many thousands? Let's add the thousands column.
1, 2, 3, and the last one is 4.
Right, so answer is?
4. Tanya, the answer is 4,155.
Is it correct, Anya? Okay, good.
So what did you think of that?
That was quite a unique way, ma'am, of explaining addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. But if, let's say, I want to have a little more clarity on how to take up with my students or with my teachers, rather, how can we go about that? If a school is interested in knowing a little more about it.
Okay, I think our trainers will be happy to meet you and take you through the next steps. But in essence, I think first I want schools to think of themselves as partners in this journey. And so they will first be convinced that this is a better way to go forward. Not easy always, but for that, whatever it takes, like more orientation of the teachers, maybe management. Once that decision has been made, then our team will come in and provide you what needs to be done in terms of all the contracts and such things. And then finally, you'll start training your teachers. So the sooner you take up, the better, because your teachers can get trained in advance. You can profile it with the parents, do parent orientations in advance of the next session, and build momentum towards this change, which is going to be highly positive for the community.
So can we have some online sessions also? Let's say a school is interested and everything is done. So can these sessions, the training sessions, be conducted online as well for the teachers and the management?
Absolutely. We can take up to 500 in the Zoom. You're most welcome. And our trainers here will be able to train the teachers and empower everybody. I think it's so much quicker than trying to reach your place and all the unnecessary expense that comes with it. So it's say just do it on town hall equivalent, but that'll be directed to the teachers, not managers as today.
Okay.
And that way they can get their teeth into it. We can even show the books, online. They can have access to the books. They can see through our app, High Path app, they can actually review all the books as well and do these activities in their classes.
Okay, that's exciting. So now when we are talking about the empowerment, which ma'am has already focused on a lot, so teacher empowerment, how does the teacher get empowered when we have this alpha pedagogy coming into the picture, the alpha way?
Right, so we've discussed teacher empowerment comes from having ready reference, ready guidelines on the page that the teacher is teaching from or the children are learning from. The emphasis again shifting from teaching
to learning.
Yes. And so for example, you'll see the prompts at the bottom for in-class and home stretch activities. One of them is this story of the owl who is in a forest, and he discovers he's very lazy. And then, he decides to be not so lazy and so on. It's a beautiful story and storyline. It continues through many episodes. So here in the very first episode, the story deals with a lot of causes and effects. And so now they have to connect the causes to the effects and color the wings according to the cause and its effect. So it's a beautiful activity. But now the kids can go home and do some things at home. For example, they can write more causes and effects, and they can start in the classroom and stretch it at home.
Oh.
So can you think of any causes and effects?
I can see one over there on the screen, one's there. So
Yeah.
the cause is there and its effect is also mentioned. So the cause, that is the reason of something, and of course the effect that's there. So the cuckoos, sorry, the owl woke up annoyed. That was the cause. And the effect says the cuckoo's pecking disturbed the owl's sleep, so he woke up annoyed.
Yeah. So the cuckoo woke up annoyed.
Yes.
Another example is given, I forgot my umbrella.
Yes.
So we apply it in our own lives.
Yes.
Say, I forgot my umbrella.
I got wet in the rain.
You got wet in the rain. That's an effect. So kids at grade 3 level, this is a grade 3 activity. They can figure this out and they can learn lots of expressions of causes and effects. The story goes into onomatopoeia. It goes into personification, because birds and creatures in the forest can speak. So there's a lot of personification. There's this cause and effect. There's adjectives, and in fact, about 5 of the 8 parts of speech are covered through sentence making. That they learn a lot faster when they do it in those analytical modes and with each other. And there's a whole bunch of other things in here, like, for example, simile. So the owl saw the magpie with his big round eyes, and then magpie had these small eyes. It says, as small as a grain of rice.
Yes.
So they learn all these expressions as well.
If we could have our audience also mentioning maybe one cause and its effect in the chat box, that would also be great. Let's have some active engagement from you all.
So what's really, really interesting is that the children are learning a lot more English just by engaging with the text. And they're learning a richer treatment, which allows them to get into more nuances of English, not enough to say, hi, hello, how are you? But actually to be able to say something in 5 different ways and to understand its meaning.
That's absolutely amazing, ma'am.
Nishant? Okay. So parent empowerment is also a big part of it, and as you know that through the prompts, but you can see that they intuitively then know, and we also do parent-teacher meetings that are different, that are actually designed to bring out to bring the parent to the school and teach them how not to teach and why not to teach and how to empower the child in a different way and so forth. So here here the mother of a 3-year-old, there's a 3-year-old there, who knows now not just the sounds but also by this point knows the letters, but right now she's telling picture sounds. So the parent is asking and the child is answering, and you will not see them till we play the video, but the grandparents and some other relatives are watching and everybody's doting on this little one. That's exactly what you want, not what did you do in school today? Oh, did you do as good as the other child?
That
Things like
comparison.
that. And not just that comparison, we just talk so little to the children. There's so little engagement with the way we have always done, because our textbooks are not helping us in that way, right? So here you have the books that are making parents into galvanizers, not just parents and not just teachers.
Yes.
Please play the video.
This is
What is the first sound of duck?
the first sound of duck is the.
What is this?
This is an elephant.
What is the first sound of elephant?
The first sound of an elephant is egg.
What is this?
This is fish.
What is the first sound of fish?
The first sound of fish is.
What is this?
This is horse.
This one.
This is goat.
What is the first sound of goat?
The first sound of goat is goat.
What is this?
This is horse.
What is the first sound of horse?
The first sound of horse is.
What is this?
This is an insect.
What is the first sound of insect?
The first sound of an insect is E.
What is this?
This is jam.
What is the first sound of jab?
The first sound of jam is jam.
What is this?
This is kite.
What is the first sound of kite?
The first sound of kite is curve.
What is this?
This is lion.
What is the first sound of kite?
The first sound of lion is
What is this?
this is duck.
What is
That was really amazing seeing the parents being involved in not just, small conversations. Oh, we've got one more video. Shall we watch this video as well, ma'am?
Hello, Toto.
Hi Tina,
How are you?
I am fine. What about you?
I'm also fine.
Tina, let's play one game. I will show you the number with ice cream stick and you have to guess the number. Are you ready, Tina?
Yes, Toto.
So let's start.
Okay.
What is the number, Tina?
So the number is 3,875.
Great, well done.
Toto, now it's your turn.
Okay.
Good evening, ma'am. How can I help you?
I want few things.
Ma'am, please choose from these.
I want this toy guitar,
Ma'am, this is of 100 rupees.
and I want this storybook,
Okay, this is also of 100 rupees.
and I want this candy.
Ma'am, this is only of 20 rupees.
Wait, let me add. 100 plus 100 plus 20 is equal to 220.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Bye.
Right, so let's look at the next slide, which talks about children's empowerment. So we saw that teachers are being empowered, we saw that the parents are being empowered differently, and we can see children just flourishing. They are themselves creating their own learning because we've unleashed a process by which they know what they need to do in order to learn by themselves. So each one of them is like a teacher, each one knows intuitively what they need to do in order to continue their learning at home. Yeah, so here's a very good one of millions that we have, literally.
Yes, true.
Okay, please play.
Today, class, first ed. Today, we are going to learn some two-digit subtraction. action with our maths toolkit. So let's get started with my friend Tina and Toto. First, we have to subtract 22 from 34. 1, 2, 3. Now we have to do 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is the number 34. Now we have to subtract. Let's subtract 2 from 4. We got 2 ones. Now we have to subtract 2 from 3. We got 1/10. The answer is 12. Well done, Tina. Well done, Toto. Thank you.
Okay, so what are your thoughts so far? Do you feel you can tell that this is somehow empowering children differently? I really hope so. So here you have 2 other examples, one of grade 1 on the left, where this little girl has made the entire setting to do something at home, which her parents are videographing, and it's about a poem that she has read in her book, the Alpha book called Gubbare. And on the right side is a video of a number of children that are reading the Hindi newspaper, and these are kindergarten children. And it's not even half a year, and these kindergarten children can read newspapers.
लौटे शिवांशु अंतरिक्ष में 18 दिन रहकर धरती पर सकुशल वापसी। अंतरिक्ष में उड़ान का और बड़ा हौसला। आगमन माँ की हो उमड़े खुशी के आंसू।
So I hope you can see that it's not, we are pushing some children, and it's not just a handful of children who are able to do this. It's the vast majority who can do some things like this, and that's basically because we are utilizing their brain power, their cognitive skills to decode and blend and to make sense out of what they're reading from the beginning. And I think we're seeing the benefits of that. Very little children can read and learn from it. So we have little child mavericks everywhere right now, and they all are capable. It's just that our system of education has been very much based on the idea of transaction of learning from teacher to the child, and there are a lot of wasted spaces, a lot of places where the children are not doing anything, waiting for the next instruction from the teacher. They are completely disempowered, except when we call the shots as teachers, say, everybody's going to do this now, everybody's going to do that, you 4 are going to do this, you 5 are going to do that, let's break up in pairs and do this, let's break up in groups and do that. And we are running the show. kids are not empowered to take action by themselves. And I think maybe that's where the learning gains are happening so fast. And because also we are scaffolding learning in a vastly different way than we have done. So we're scaffolding it from known to unknown, not unknown to unknown. We're scaffolding it from simple to complex, and from concrete, in fact, kinesthetic to concrete to abstract. So all these are well-known principles, but somehow they never came together in a big way in our process of teaching and learning, and now they are. This one-to-one learning is also very interesting.
Absolutely.
It's not one-to-one as in a computer and me, AI and me. It's one-to-one as in two people.
Yes.
And so what do you think? And this at home also with Tina Toto is one-to-one. And
Absolutely.
even the same child with left and right hands is doing Tina Toto. Tina, what do you think this is? They become their best friends. They're real friends. One day I threatened to take away Tina and Toto out of the system. And there was literally tears in the eyes of these little kids. I said, okay, what if I didn't have Tina and Toto again? What if my stories had some other characters? No, ma'am, we want our Tina and Toto.
Aw, that's
They
adorable.
love their Tina and Toto. And you saw, these kids, when their videos, interacting with the Tina Toto puppets. And so when you don't have a friend, you don't have a relative, you don't have anybody to talk to, kids are still busy learning. So we're capturing all those dead moments, but there's something else that's very powerful that's going on, and that the NEP 2020 asks us of, that is the 21st century skills. Are they being implemented more in this one-to-one way than in other settings that we have our children in? So
Yes.
what's your thought, Priya ma'am?
Absolutely. I believe this interaction that the kids have, these friends, Tina Toto friends, they're always helpful. And when we're talking about the 21st century skills, the ones that you've already talked about, ma'am, you've mentioned earlier also. So the collaboration, the collaborative learning, of course, it happens because they are in pairs. Critical thinking, creativity, communication, all these skills, they are the need of the hour. And Alpha has incorporated all of these so beautifully. It's all woven in it. So it's so beautiful. So it's not just the 4C skills, but we've got citizenship, climate consciousness, character, and all the chapters, the stories, the passages that have been taken into the language part of Alpha, they relate to each of these, all the skills and all the traits. That is what I have to say about it, ma'am.
So really it's process-led transformation, the process of putting children in pairs, which is really easy, but then how do you create a whole learning environment around it?
Yes.
And that's what we have been working on for a handful of years now, and tested and tried and proven that it's working better than whatever we had earlier. Now, schools we are working with are very good schools. They've always been very good. They were exceptional schools. And just yesterday evening, I got results from grade 3, where 5 campuses opted, of City Montessori School, 5 out of 21 campuses opted to take up Alpha in grade 3. Now, in grade 3, we also have an external evaluation done by a third party. So it starts in grade 3 and goes up to grade 12. And so this external party evaluates children 4 times in a year. And the first one took place in May and June period, May period, just before the holidays. And then the results came yesterday after a lot of processing. And it was really fascinating to see that the children who were in the Alpha program, that is the 5 campuses, did a lot better than children who were in the rest of the campuses. So a good grade school like City Montessori School can also do so much better with just a handful of weeks of work with the children. So May, we are talking about April, the school began. May, they had their first midterm. And so not very long at all with the Alpha process. And they did so much better than what we were doing earlier, which we cannot say was entirely traditional, because our teachers are not just hardworking, they're also very creative.
Absolutely.
So whether they're in the Alpha campus or the non-Alpha campuses, they're doing a very, very good job. Parents are very pleased, and that's the reason why City Montessori School is the biggest in the world, because the parents are very pleased. They're subscribing to it in droves, in a lot of numbers.
Yes.
And even that school has accepted this change, and that I think is daring. But those principals who took up in grade 3, 5 of them, I would say they're even more daring, because the rest of the principals said, no, grade 3, very important, we're having the external evaluation, we don't know what will happen, what if our children don't do well, what will happen. So they sat by, on the outskirts and did not take up for grade 3. 5 campuses did, and their results are better, so we are feeling very vindicated. that yes, it is working for them as well. We were always sure, but then how do you bring along others? And even in the same school, they have seen the results till grade 2, but for grade 3, they were a little bit worried because of some external evaluation.
The learning has accelerated. Accelerating in true sense, it is accelerating learning for all.
Yeah, so I think I can relate to you the results. They're like in English, it is 62% for the all the rest of the campuses, and that is for the external evaluation on average. And for the alpha campuses, 72, and for numeracy, it is just a minute. I'll get it. Second. Oh, I have it here. 1 second.
Sure, ma'am. So we all can see on the screen till that time that, when we're talking about the 8C skills that NEP has mentioned, we can see it on the screen, how it has been incorporated into the alpha curriculum. The kids, they're working in pairs. So when they're working together, their collaboration, their communication skills are improved. Then, of course, asking questions, thinking critically. So each and every aspect, it builds their character, their citizenship, the connectedness with each other, making them conscious about the climate, their environment. All of this is very important and an integral part of the curriculum, of the academics. When we're talking about the holistic development of the child, each and every skill plays a very crucial role. And all these, they're not mentioned in isolation, or they're not taught in isolation. It's all a part, it's all together.
So I have the data. It's right in front of me. I don't know whether you can see it, but the blue line is for English for the alpha campuses, and the orange line is for the non-alpha campuses. That's on the left is 5 out of 21, and the remaining in the orange. So you can see that the orange, the non-alpha campuses in English had an average performance of 63%, and the alpha campuses had an average performance of 73%. And for mathematics, it was 60% for the non-alpha campuses and 71% for the alpha campuses. That's a whopping big difference. This is equivalent to more than 1 year of learning. In just the handful of days, they've improved that much.
So the learning has accelerated. Can we move on to the next slide, Nishansa?
So why don't we have a show of yes and no for the question 1, which is 4C skills can be developed better when children work with each other all day. How many say yes? How many say no? And then the second question is 4C traits. These are climate consciousness, connectedness, character, and citizenship, that they can develop more when children are interacting with each other on a daily basis and pretty much the whole day. What are your thoughts? Yes or no?
100% yes from my side.
Okay, jolly good. Now let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so you can see for climate consciousness, these kids read about the blue whale, and then they wrote their feelings about the blue whale. And there was a little bit of a role play in which some children played the role of the blue whale, and rather in a pair, one was the blue whale and the other was a researcher. So the researcher is asking questions, how do you feel? And then she says, I'm not happy. But why are you not happy? So they create their own role plays because, of micro plastic and so many other problems that the blue whales face in the ocean. So children are becoming empathetic. They're learning that. They're also learning about the climate and how it's being affected for creatures, for all of us. And they, through these stories, learn about all amazing people across the globe who are doing something about these problems. So they become climate activists. Not just they read about them, they become conscious and they become activists. So we can probably agree that this is a learning that goes into body, mind, heart and spirit of the child and integrates nature as well.
Truly, ma'am, absolutely. Now, coming to the assessments and reports, that how are the students going to be assessed? Because yes, a lot of learning in a playful and a fun way happening, but how do we come to know that, okay, the learning is truly happening? So
first of them is instant feedback that happens primarily by children giving feedback to each other. So they correct each other's work, which of course a lot of schools nowadays practice. It's a good thing, but they do it as part of the system, and it's within the system. At a certain point they're correcting each other's work. Then it goes to the teacher, and the teacher corrects or corrects on top of that if there are any remaining errors and underlines the mistakes, and the teacher then signs the paper and puts a smiley on it. And you can see that this self-correction happens in a variety of ways, not just in the written work, but also that if I make, my partner will correct. If my partner will make, I will correct. So
the
that
error
instant
control
feedback
that you mentioned, ma'am.
is the error control. And this is a idea that Dr. Maria Montessori had, even for the very tiny ones. So for example, she has this spindle box, and it has exactly number 0, 1 up to 9 written there, and there are exactly 45 spindles in a basket. And so the child puts nothing in the 0, 1, 1 in the 1, 2 spindles in the box marked 2, and so on and so forth, the column marked 2, until they finish till the 9. So they have to count 9 at the end. But when they're counting 9 and they find there's one missing, they know immediately that they got somewhere something wrong. Because that's the control of error, having exactly 45 in that basket. So they go and check in each column how many they had and what the number was supposed to be, and they find, yes, in number 7, they put 8 by mistake. So they correct by themselves, and this is so beautiful. But here we also have the pair helping you rather than you individually working. So Dr. Montessori's work was more about personalized learning and children learning from the teacher. So it's a 3-part lesson, as we all know. So teacher shows me how to do something, I do it myself, and teacher can see that I can do it, and then I independently continue with it. So it is now built in a different way in the Alpha program as paired learning, but that idea that the learning control should not happen at a half-yearly examination, that it needs to happen every day, every single time I'm doing something.
That timeliness is very important for the feedback.
Absolutely. Instant feedback is critical. Right. And then we use, of course, assessments at another end. We use the high path assessment module. There are worksheets, like colorful, beautiful worksheets that children fill, and the marks are collected using OMR sheets by others filling the OMR sheet, and then the scanning is done through a very interesting app. It's called High Path app, and when you go in there and you start collecting data, you won't find it on the net right now, by the way. It's something we give the schools access to. And then they can immediately scan, just like QR codes are scanned, all the sheets, and in about 3 minutes to 5 minutes, and press the button upload, and they have all the reports. And the parents get them instantly. And the parents go, when the children go home, parents already have the reports. And so you can do it more often, no correction work as such, little bit of process, but not much. And they're able to get really high quality reports. But what's really also important is that children get back their workbooks, and they don't see them as tests. They get these workbooks back, and they correct any errors made, and therefore they perfect them and get 100%.
It also reduces the burden on the teacher as well, I believe, ma'am.
It does. It does reduce workload of the teacher, but the goal is perfection.
Yes.
So we always aim for every exercise, not just for collecting marks, is for learning from it, and therefore improving our practice.
True.
And so this is how the assessment sheets look like. As you can see, and that activity is there in a different form. You see that circle with the letters, the children having to make some words out of that.
Oh.
And the marks are given on the right, as you can see, top right of every question, marks out of so many. So it's not exactly multiple choice, it's not exactly a traditional paper, it's something of a unique mix. And so we get rapid results with these smart tools. For example, this is a report of some grade 12, I think this is for physics. So teacher can instantly tell where my children belong and what they need to do to perfect their class. And then in summary, I think you can say. What do we summarize from this, Priya ma'am?
Absolutely, ma'am. We've got all the major pointers on the screen as well. And accelerating learning for all in its true sense, that is what the alpha path strives to achieve. And our students are of course engaged, that is what, giving that ownership to the child, making the child feel empowered, the parents are empowered, the teachers are empowered, and of course, it's the path that matters, which should be playful, engaging, interesting, interactive for the child ultimately. The learners, they become more confident, having all the 21st century skills, which NEP 2020 has also mentioned. That is something that needs to be incorporated in the curriculum. And of course, not just the academics, but when we're focusing on the holistic development of the child, the socio-emotional skills, those are also very important. So path is something that it strives to achieve, and all of it is doing beautifully. That's what I feel. That is the gist, that is the summary for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much indeed. Right. So I think we're inviting you to please explore path and see how it supports your school. And we want to enable that change at all the schools of India to become an example to the world, but also the world is embracing Alpha. We have it right now in 8 different countries. So I think it must continue the change, the reform, and not just incremental change, as Shri Rajnath Singh ji, who has been really mentoring and supporting us. Right now you saw a video from him at the beginning of this town hall. That really what we need is to move away from incremental change to dramatic and profound change, and that would tantamount to a paradigm shift in learning. And not just learning, but learning for life and not just for exams. So foundational solutions we've got, of course, for the foundational level, that is pre-primary to grade 2. You saw a lot of videos from this group. Elementary, that is for grades 3 to 5. And upper primary, grades 6 to 8. We put a lot of emphasis on foundational skills because I think we have the most winning proposition out there to make children really good in their reading, writing, and arithmetic. And they're flourishing, and not just doing well, they're flourishing. And that's the basic, the foundation on which rest of learning depends, is it sets a child on a different trajectory of growth when they can read at very young ages, because they can engage with what the teacher is doing, not just listening to that, because listening is not the best way of learning, but also to being engaged in that text. And we say make questions on the text, read it out aloud to each other, then make gestures or act it out. And there's so many engagements. Of course, do what we call the connect activities, which connect to the text, and children make their own connect activities. They get HOTS questions, they make their own HOTS questions, they learn about what's HOTS and how to make a good question. So all these things are on the cards because we are empowering them to be able to learn by themselves and independently know what they've done well and what they need to improve on, not look for external validation for everything. And there's a lot of support for the principals and schools that we should take it up. And we look forward to your joining us, for sure, because it's a movement, it's not just books. I look forward to your being a part. So now for reflection, please take the QR code on the screen, take a screenshot of it, and or just go scan it on your QR code app and fill that interest form so we can be in touch with you. If you wish to follow up and want to know more about it, to orient your teachers and go about implementing that change. So thank you very much indeed. Thank you for being there. And it's exactly 5 o'clock. We end our town hall just now. Thank you so much indeed. Thank you, Priyaji, for being on it.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
It's a pleasure. these videos of classroom practice of alpha by the teachers, how they're implementing that change.
The link to the Google form has also been shared in the chat box. So if you are unable to scan the QR code, it's there in the chat box.
Let's use it. Tina, what is this? This is a butterfly. What is the first sound of butterfly? What is this? This is an apple. What is the first sound of apple? What is this? This is a grapes. What is the first sound of grapes? What is a make new word? These alphabets. Bag. Jojo, what is this? This is a car. What is the first sound of car? What is this? This is a apple. What is the first sound of apple? What is this? This is a turtle. What is the first sound of turtle? What is a make new words? These alphabets. Cat. What is Tina? What is this? This is a monkey. What is the first sound of monkey? What is this? This is an apple. What is the first sound of apple? What is this? This is a turtle. What is the first sound of turtle? What is a make new word? These alphabets. Actual math. Thank you.
Children, today we are going to learn something new. This is tense. Okay? What is this? Clap is tense and one snap is once. Okay? So, this is 20, 30. Yes. And this is? Okay. Now, Agrim and Abdul, can you come forward? Yes. Can you show how this will be done? Okay. Try. Okay, Agrim. Now your turn.
Good.
Well done. Now you will do. Come on, do it with your partners. Go back to your place.
Good morning, and gentlemen. Today we are here to understand how Alpha class will help children to be a better future ready citizens. So I have Ankita ma'am, Farah ma'am and Jaya ma'am here. So Farah ma'am, would you like to share views?
Actually, in alpha classes, we emphasize more on building of 6Cs. Now, what are these 6Cs? 6Cs are those skills which helps in the overall holistic development of the child, and hence it prepares the children themselves for future ready citizens.
Ma'am, please can you explain what are these 6Cs?
Yes, surely. 6Cs, as the name suggests itself, it's 6 different skills of learning, like critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, citizenship, and character building.
He went and jumped on a box. This box is too hard, said, oh, Tommy. Oh, this box is too hard, said Tommy. Then Tommy saw another box. This box is too soft, said Tommy.
A good job, Farah ma'am. So what did you learn from here?
Thank you, Ankita ma'am, for helping me, and thank you for keeping up patience with me. The same word I was not able to read again and again, but you did not lose the patience. So thank you so much. Good job. So we have learned a virtue from this, a value from this.
What is that?
That is helpfulness.
Correct. And be patient.
Okay, since Ankita ma'am, you helped me, so I have something for you. I have prepared a badge for you.
Oh, wow.
And on it I have written, Helpful Ankita.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So children, did you understand that we have learned a virtue from today's class? That is helpfulness. Now, when you will work with your partners, you are also going to take care of them and help them. Understood?
Let's do some reading. Okay. I think we need different means of transporting. Go from one place to another. Means of Should I help you again? Yes. It's transport. Thank you. Are also used to carry goods. Some common means of transport in the kits are. You did a great job. Thank you, Tammy. You are a very helpful boy. I have something for you. This is for you. I have made this for you.
Can you join all the sounds and guess the word?
I can try.
Absolutely.
J, E, T. Jet.
Jet. Absolutely right. Great.
Ma'am.
I was collaborating with you. We both were working together, right?
What is collaboration?
Collaboration when we work together for certain thing, for some task, right?
Like we did just now?
Yes.
I was faltering in reading and you helped me.
In case if I'm not able to read any word, then you are going to guide me. You're going to help me. That is called collaboration.
Okay, so collaboration means working together
As a
and
team.
helping each other so that if anyone is facing any problem, we can solve the problem of that person. That is collaboration.
So children, now you all are going to do in a similar way, right? If your partner is not able to understand anything, so we'll take that as a ownership and we'll guide that partner. So can we do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's get started.
What is the first picture? This is a what? What is the first sound of the picture? Yeah. No. See again the picture? Yeah. No, it will be ver. It is yam or it is van? Van. So it will be ver. Okay.
Today we are going to do an activity where you are going to read a chapter and ask the questions to your partner. In this way, you will be able to enhance your critical thinking.
Today we will read EVS Animals chapter Animals Around Us. Okay. We see different types of animals around us. They are both big and small. They live on land, in water or on trees. Now your turn. Animals like cat and horse live on land. Animals like dolphin and shark live in water. And animals like monkey and bats live on trees. Now from this page we will ask some questions. Okay. We see different types of animals around us or one type of animal? We always see different types of animals around us. Okay, now it's your turn. Okay. Should we take good care of our pets? Yes, we should take good care of our pets.
This will enhance your creativity and you will be able to understand how to use your waste materials.
Let's make the pattern board. Okay. It's right. Well done.
What is the connection between 6Cs and alpha classes?
Actually, ma'am, I feel if a child is taught through alpha process, he possesses all the skills which are needed for securing jobs in future and make him better citizens.
And also, Ankita ma'am, in alpha classes, like they learn to work in pairs. They do random pairing, they take turns to ask questions. So they are responsible for their learning as well as the learning of their partner, right? So it helps them to converse better, they collaborate with each other, and they become more confident and responsible in the class. This is what I felt.
Okay kids, as we have done random pairing now you are sitting with your new partners, right? So just meet her, she is Tina. Okay? Hello everyone. And he is Toto. Alright? Tina, look towards the module 1. What is this? This is a duck. Great job. Now you ask me the question. Okay. What is the first sound of duck, Toto? The first sound of duck is duh. Well done. Now you ask me the question. Did you like Tina and Toto? Yes. Okay. Now the way I was doing, in the same way you will do the same conversation, same kind of conversation with your partners. Alright? Work in pairs. Take turns to read the first sounds of each picture above. Add the 3 sounds to make words. Now will you all be able to do it? Yes. Okay, let's start.
Are you excited to learn something new? Yes. Okay, let's start. The module is here. What is this? This is a duck. Great job, Aditi. Ansh, can you tell me what is first sound of duck? Yes, the first sound of duck is duh. Good job, Ansh. What is this? This is an octopus. Great job, Aditi. Ansh, can you tell me the sound of an octopus? Yes. Oh, the first sound of an octopus is oh. Good job, Ansh. What is this? This is a goat. Ansh, can you tell me what is first sound of goat? The first sound of goat is go. Good job, Ansh. What word can you make by adding all the first sounds? The word is the dog. Good job, Ansh. Harshika, we are going to read some words. First I will read, then you will read. Okay. Bag. Bat. Bog. Bug. But. Dot. Gab. Gas. God. Got. Now let's read these words faster. Bat. Bog. Bug. But. Dot. Gab. Gas. Got. Shark. Ship. Brush.
Dish. Dish.
Fish. Fish.
Wash. Wash.
Left it at the top of tall tree. Night with wait by the light of the moon. Pie their favorite food. US Modi played crucial role in G20. India is a highly valued partner, says top official. New Delhi PM Modi was instrumental in forging
So we are going to cover module 4.
All
We
right.
know about tens and ones, but we are going to learn it in a different way. So one snap means one once,
Okay.
right? And then
One
one
clap.
clap means 110,
110. All
right?
right.
So here we go. Right.
Thank you.
Okay, it's your turn now.
Okay.
Give me some bigger number.
Bigger number. All right.
61.
You're right. High five.
Yes. I want my children to try this. Would you like to try this? Yeah! So let's get started. Start.
$555. Excellent. Let's start one game. Okay. First, you will start. Okay. $431. Excellent. Now my turn. $420. The game name is 100 tens and ones. Can we start? Yes. First, I will tell you how to play. Sketch pen is for hundreds. Okay. Ice cream stick for tens. And the matchstick is for ones. Can you make 154? 154? Yes. You have done wrong. I have said 54. You have 54. Yes, you have right. See. No, Ikshit, you are doing wrong. See. It says come here. Okay, can you write 154 on the copy? Yes. Okay, good. First my turn, then your turn.